Welcome to this explainer. I am Dr. Chem, and today we're diving straight into the exact, completely fascinating science of analytical chemistry to solve a real-world mystery. We're going inside the lab for a complete cinematic experimental breakdown, uncovering the hidden truth inside something that's probably sitting in your bathroom cabinet right now.
Think about it. We buy dietary supplements off the shelf all the time, right? We read the labels, we swallow the pills, and we just kind of trust the whole process. But how do pharmaceutical companies actually guarantee the exact milligram amount of an active ingredient in there? Like, how do they know for an absolute fact that what's printed on the label is exactly what's inside the pill?
Well, to figure that out, let's run through our agenda for today's scientific showdown. First up, the iron tablet mystery. Second, Contender 1, Redox titration. Third, Contender 2, UV-Vis spectroscopy. Fourth, advanced atomic absorption. And finally, the ultimate method showdown.
Okay, jumping right into Section 1, the iron tablet mystery. So the published standard result for your typical commercial iron tablet is usually around 65 milligrams. Now that tiny number is heavily relied upon by doctors and patients to treat some pretty serious deficiencies. But proving that precise number isn't just a matter of tossing the pill on a scale. Nope. The pill is packed with all sorts of fillers and binders, so isolating and measuring literally just the iron requires a series of incredibly strict chemical procedures.
Which brings us to Section 2. Contender 1, Redox titration.
Now, this is a very hands-on, classic wet chemistry process. First, we get physical. We crush the tablet into a fine powder using a pestle and mortar. Second, we extract the iron by dissolving that powder in dilute sulfuric acid. And finally, we do this really delicate balancing act where we carefully add a known oxidizing agent, drop by agonizing drop, into our solution.
Actually, hold on, that choice of acid, that is a critical trap you want to avoid in the lab. We absolutely must use dilute sulfuric acid, because as you can see here, if a chemist were to accidentally use hydrochloric acid, it would literally be oxidized into toxic chlorine gas by the manganate ions. Bad news. And nitric acid, well, it's an oxidizing agent itself, so it would completely ruin the experiment by oxidizing the very substance we're actually trying to analyze. So yeah, sulfuric acid is definitely the unsung hero here.
And this perfectly illustrates the brilliance of the titration itself. You see, we use an oxidizing agent called potassium manganate 7, which is this intensely deep purple. But what is truly magical about this setup is that this chemical acts as its own indicator. As it reacts with the iron in the flask, the solution turns a very pale pink tinge the exact, and I mean exact, second that all the iron has reacted. That sudden color change, that's our finish line.
Oh, and here's a really fun insider lab secret for you. Because that potassium manganate liquid is such a dark, intense purple, standard laboratory equipment actually fails us here. You have to use a special burette with white numbers printed on the glass. If you use the standard black numbering, they would be completely invisible against that dark liquid, and it'd be literally impossible to read your measurements.
Moving right along to Section 3, Contender 2, UV-Vis spectroscopy.
This modern method relies on a beautiful concept called colorimetry. Simply put, we measure exactly how much light is absorbed by a colored solution to determine the exact amount of iron present. Basically, the darker the color, the more iron is in the water.
But, iron water isn't exactly very colorful on its own, so we add chemical agents like thiocyanate. When thiocyanate hits those extracted iron ions, the solution turns a dramatic, deep blood red. Or, if we use a chemical called phenanthrolene instead, it turns this vibrant orange red. Think of these chemicals as creating tiny chemical sunglasses in the water. These sunglasses absorb specific wavelengths of light, which we can then mathematically measure using a principle called the Beer-Lambert law. We shoot a beam of light through it, measure what actually makes it to the other side, and boom, we know exactly how much iron is hanging out in there.
Let's check out Section 4, Advanced Atomic Absorption.
Now, when scientists are dealing with incredibly complex matrices, I'm talking about things like veterinary supplements for animals, which are packed full of competing minerals, proteins, and super dense biological matter, they step up to the heavyweights. They use Flame Atomic Absorption Spectrometry. This highly advanced machine literally burns the sample in a flame to atomize it. This allows for supreme, pinpoint accuracy even when the iron is hiding inside a very messy, complicated sample.
Finally, Section 5, the ultimate method showdown. So let's look at the actual data.
An undergraduate study directly compared our first two methods, the redox titration and the UV-vis spectroscopy, on the exact same brand of iron tablets. And the results? Incredibly similar. The titration yielded an average of 67.20 milligrams, while the spectroscopy gave us 63.83 milligrams. Both of those numbers are circling right around our industry standard of 65 milligrams.
So the absolutely crucial takeaway here is this. The data showed absolutely no statistically significant difference between the two approaches. It essentially proves that both the old-school, hands-on wet chemistry and the modern, mathematically driven light-based methods are highly accurate, completely valid ways to solve our mystery.
And when researchers took these methods out into the real world to test various commercial brands, they found some really fascinating variations. Testing revealed that Chemora contained 46.41 milligrams, Pharmaceutical had 28.93 milligrams, and the MIM capsule held 29.54 milligrams per dose. Now, while those precise dosages deliberately vary by brand to serve completely different medical needs, these analytical methods proved that they all reliably and safely meet the World Health Organization standards for human consumption.
We've seen just how rigorous and beautiful this science can be, which leaves us with this final thought. If we can use brilliant chemical color changes and invisible beams of light to pinpoint the exact mass of a single element in one tiny pill, what other hidden chemistry is waiting to be discovered right now in your medicine cabinet? Next time you take a vitamin, remember the intense, exacting science that guarantees exactly what is inside. I'm Dr. Chem. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep questioning the world around you.